Alright, this is a doozy here, this one. It looks pretty simple at first. So a shopkeeper buys n number of books, so that's the number of books. And the price here is 80 rupees, okay? Alright. If he had bought 4 more books, okay, so 4 more books. Okay, so that would be like n plus 4, I guess. For the same cost of 80 rupees, okay? So again, 80 rupees. The price would have been 1 rupee less. Okay, so that there we're going to consider that's 1 rupee less. Okay, how many books did the shopkeeper buy? And we're going to say, we know that n is the number of books and p is the price of those books. Okay, so let's just underline those two things. So n is the number of books and p is the price of the books. Okay. So we know that each book, if the total price was 80 and we bought n books, we could say that the price is equal to 80 rupees, that's the amount, okay, by the number of books. That would give me the price per book, the total cost divided by the number of books. Okay, but if we bought 4 more books, okay, so that would be n plus 4, right? The price per book would drop by 1 rupee. So we also can say that p, that price, and we drop it by 1. If we have n plus 4. Okay. Alright. So does that make sense? The price is 80 divided by n, the number of books. But if we increase the number of books by 4, then the price per book drops by 1. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what do we want to determine. We want to determine what the price of the book is, and then the number of books. So, I mean, we're going to have to do both, so we'll solve one, we'll use substitution to solve the other. Okay, so let's go ahead and write out an equation here. I guess the obvious choice is to do substitution, because we already have p isolated here, right? And I could substitute that there. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's do that. So we're going to have 80 over n, right? And I'm just going to put that bracket right here because we're substituting for p. All right. Minus 1 equals 80 over n plus 4. All right. So now we don't have p as a variable. Okay. So what are we going to have to do here? Well, I'm going to set this all equal to 0. Multiply by the lowest common multiples of the denominators. And yeah, it's probably going to be a quadratic. We love those. Okay, so let's rewrite that. So we have 80 over n minus 80 over n plus 4 minus 1. I'm going to make some space here. 1. I'm going to put minus 1 there. You know what? I just clean this. I want to have some space because I know that when I multiply by the LCD, it's going to take some space. Equals 0. Okay. So what is the lowest common multiple of the denominators? We have n and n plus 4. So the LCD is equal to n times n plus 4. So I'll go ahead and multiply all these parts by n times n plus 4. Same here. Oops. Times that by n times n plus 4. And same here. N times n plus 4. Okay. So we have some simplification. So we have n is going to cancel here, n plus 4 here, and then nothing there. Okay. So just to change colors, just to keep it fresh here, let's go with purple. So when I multiply that, I'm going to have 80. I'll just keep it as a fraction, or as a, I won't expand it just yet, so slow it down a bit. N plus 4 minus, and that's just going to be 80n, so that one's, I don't need to put it in a bracket there. Okay, and then minus n times n plus 4 equals 0. So let's go ahead and expand. This is 80n plus 320 minus 80n. Oh, look at that. That's actually pretty nice, because look at, I don't have to worry about that. Minus n squared plus 4n equals. Alright, so this is going to simplify to negative, negative n squared. You know what? I did something here. That should be minus 4n. Sorry about that. I don't know why I did that. Okay. So, minus 4n, and then plus 320 equals 0. And you know what? I'm just going to make it so that leading coefficient is a positive. So I'm going to times everything by negative 1. Change the signs to the opposite. So n squared plus 4n minus 320 equals to 0. Alright, so we've got to factor that. Let's look at some. We know that we saw before that with 4 and 80, those were factors of 320, but we can't make those into a sum of 4. But let's see. What if we did this like 20 and 4, and that's 4. So that'd be 16. 16 and 20. That we can make a sum, right? Okay, so let's do that. Let's change this to blue. Okay, so we have n, and it's going to be plus 20, right? And then we have n minus 16 equals to 0. So n is equal to negative 20 or 16. And we got to cross out that. We can't have a negative number of books. So 16 is the number of books. Yeah, we got that. And then what's the price? Okay, so the easiest way to find out is P is equal to 80 over N. Okay, so let's go to a new color. Okay, so P is equal to 80 over 16. We know what that is right now. So P is equal to 5. So it's 5 rupees per book, and it's 16 books. All right.